Now we're going to work on part 2, modifying objects. We made some objects just a little bit ago. Now we're going to do some manipulating of them and changing of them within our workspace. So we need to make sure that we are able to create objects here on the right side. So we're going to do that by using the rectangle tool, which we have selected here. And then you want to make sure that we're working on our current layer or practice layer, and we're going to create them on the right side. Just like before, left click and drag will create our object. Now, as you can see, if we hover our cursor over a corner of that, we'll get a little 2 arrows, diagonal arrows. You can left click, hold, and then you can drag to the right, up, down, and you can manipulate your rectangle in any way you wish you like. You can even hold the shift button to constrain it to a square if you want to, but I'm just going to pull it out a little bit and resize my rectangle. Another way to resize an object is to go to Object, Transform, and then you can go to Scale, and we can make it smaller than what it is right now. We'll go 50%, click OK, and it's going to drop our rectangle down to 50% of what it was. Last way to resize an object is the transform panel. We looked at that before. This is in our properties, and we can make our adjustments up here. If I wanted to make again a 2" by 1" rectangle, I can just make sure that that's not linked. Put in 2 inches for my width, 1 inch for my height, and I've resized my object that way. Next thing we want to do is change stacking order, and this one's fairly easy, but I'm going to run through the shapes real quick. You need to create 2 rectangles, and to really see the difference in the stacking, you want to create 2 rectangles with different fill colors. So I'm going to focus on a yellow, and how about we create another one, and I'm going to make that one purple. So we have our yellow and purple. If I want to have the front object sent to the back behind the yellow one, I just go to my object. I'm going to arrange. And I'm going to send backward. And now it is behind our other shape. I'm going to go ahead and move this up here, give us some space down here. The next thing we like to do is group separate objects as one object. Now again, I'm going to have to create a couple shapes here real quick. We're just going to create 2 rectangles. And then I'm going to go ahead, L for my ellipse tool. I want to show the difference, so I'm going to make sure my colors are different on all 3 of my objects. Let's go ahead and set that. And so now I have 3 separate objects, and we just want to group them as one. There's a couple ways you can do it, but we're going to go ahead to choose Object, and then we're going to Group. And now we have them grouped. So instead of just moving one of them, we can now move them all, or we can resize all 3 of them at the same time. I'm going to press Command Z. So I have my 3 objects there. Next one is rotate. You can rotate an object after you created it. We're going to go ahead and get to our rectangle tool. Press M for the shortcut. Create a rectangle here. Then you're going to go to your selection tool. That is V for a shortcut, and you can hover over the corner. So if you're on the corner, you get the 2 arrows at a diagonal. That'll resize. You hover over, you can rotate it. Now you can also rotate by the rotate tool. You can rotate by going to Object, Transform, and then to Rotate. And then that can allow you to change the angle of your rectangle. I'm going to make it a horizontal to vertical rectangle.